see Jainism, time. Time, first I'm going to define that what is time, and then we will go to the Kaal chakra. There are two views by acharyas in Jainism. When you read the books, okay, the time comes now 6 universal substances, okay. One of the substance is time. But there is another view. See, there is one view is called time is a imaginary things. Okay, it has no real existence. That is the certain one view of learned people, that there is no such thing as the time. So for them, there are not 6 substances, but there are only 5. And if you notice it, there are like Tattvat Sutra type books, okay, they talk about the 5 substances, not the 6th one. 6 or 5, you know what is Jeev, Ajeev, Dharmastikay, Adharmastikay, Akash, and Kaal. That the 6 substance is a Kaal. The first 5, okay, Jeev, Ajeev, Dharmastikay, Adharmastikay, and Akash or space. They are the 5. And the 6th is a Kaal, those who believe in the 6. Those who believe only 5, they consider time is an imaginary thing. There is no real existence. So if a group or a sect believes the time is an imaginary things, then there is nothing to discuss about them. Okay? And in reality, time is an imaginary thing. What is time? If you really look into it, you cannot go backward. You cannot go like space. You can go this space, that space. You can go up, down, all over the place. Okay? That's a real thing. But time, you cannot go backward. Okay? And only you live in the presence. Presence means your life is only one moment. Then there is a next moment life. But you cannot live 2 moments together. Okay? So you can see, we can live one moment at a time. Okay? And whatever things we live, that is a real thing. And it's only like a one moment at a time we live. We cannot live no next moment and this moment together. And we cannot go back. Whatever the life we have lived, no, can we relive that one? No, answer is not. So one view is time is an imaginary things. There is no real existence. Another view says time has a real existence, and it is innumerable time atoms. Time is made up of innumerable time atoms. And what is the function of time? It measures the changes of soul and matter. Time is nothing but a practical usage. Okay, if I am a 50 years old, that's a measures. What it means that, okay, I came to this world 50 years ago. It measures these are the changes that occur me from birth to today's age. That way. That's a 50 years or 70 years or 80 years, whatever it is. Okay. It measures the changes. So from that point, when my birth occurred versus today, which is 80 years ago, then you can see it changes, it measures the changes that my soul has lived. Similarly, for matter, that's nothing but it measures the changes in the matter or the soul, but it is not cause of a change. Time, I'm getting old every moment, but it is not due to time. It is not the cause of the change, but it is a measurement. It measures how old I am. But That was not due to time I'm getting old. So that is the kind of a subtle difference, you got to understand. Now, let me go back a second chart. Now, here is the big, we will send you these charts, but you can see here a big table. Innumerable Sama is one Avli. Some of the wording you may not have heard about it, okay? 256 Avli is a one Kshalluk Bhav. Approximately 17.5 Kshalluk Bhav is equal to one breath, which is one inhale and one exhale. So one inhale and exhale, if you know the timing, that is called one Kshalluk Bhav. And one breath, and 3,773 breaths is equal to one Murat. One Murat is 48 minutes. Now this is a measurable time. I mean a measurable time. One Murat or 48 minutes, from this beginning of this point to 48 minutes. All right. And you can measure the one Murat easily. Okay. Then these are the less than a Murat one. Breath, a Kshalluk Bhav, or Avli. Okay, Avli is the smallest time interval is called Samay. And if you notice the book called Samay Sar in Digambar, that is one of the most important book, most pious book written by Acharya Kunkundacharya. So that is the Samay. Samay is another name of the Samay is the soul. Okay, in Samay Sar, the philosophy of soul. Anyway, if you go further down, 48 minute is one Murat. Then also, whoever is genius, all calculation done. These are all taken from the scripture, okay? All the numbers. That 16,777,216 avlis, okay? It is also 48 minutes, okay? And 2 ghadi is also one Murat 48 minutes. So all the different terminology what we are using, you can put here and you can see how much timing they are talking about. One Murat, today we have hours and 24 hours a day. So when you translate 24 hours into 48 minutes interval, that becomes a 30 Murat. So 30 Murat is a day, which is same as 24 hours is a day. Okay. 15 days is one fortnight, which we all know, and 2 fortnight is equal to 1 month. So that way you can see how Jainism at that time, 2,500 years ago, were measuring all the time in a different measurements technique. Next one is the 12 month is 1 year, 5 years is a one yug. And you can imagine that once you get into years, 8.4 million times 8.4 million years. Okay, 8.4 million times 8.4 million years is equal to one Purva. And one Purva is, when you multiply this one, somebody really calculated, it's a 70, I don't know how many nines, it's a 9 zeros, 70,560 e to the power 9. That many years is a one Purva, and innumerable years is equal to one Palyopam. And now here is a mind-boggling time unit measurement. 10 times 10 crores, or like 10 million times 10 millions. Okay, it is one Palyopam. Now that many Palyopam is one Sagropam. And there are 20 Sagropams is equal to one time cycle. So if you just to imagine the whole things, that when we got 20 crore, this is a 1 crore. 1 crore is 10 million. Okay. So 20 times 1 crore, 10 crores times 10 crores is equal to one time cycle. That many years pass by. Okay. That's why one time cycle completes. When you have 10 crore Sagropam, it is a half time cycle. Okay. And 20 crore Sagropam is a one full cycle, which is ascending, descending. We will just go through it. The time required now, what is the Palyopam? You see, there is a one measurement unit comes Palyopam. That also mind-boggling, the unit of measurement. A time required to empty 64 cubic gao. This is again old unit of measurement, gao, which is nothing but 512 cubic miles. So if you terms of miles, 512 cubic miles, deep well, completely filled with a hair of a 7-day-old newly born baby, and one hair is removed every 100 years to empty the whole well. That many years is called one Palyopam. I don't know how do they do it, but this is how Karnal Yogi explains the Sagropam and Palyopam. 10 and such 10 crore Palyopam is equal to one Sagropam. And similarly, another 10 crore Palyopam is another Sagropam, means two Sagropams makes it the whole time cycle. Anyway, this is the total measurement. Here is some graphic representation I'm going to show you. But again, when you look at the time cycle, the whole time cycle Kaal Chakra is 20 crore Sagropams. They divided into two groups, Avsarpeni and Utsarpeni. Avsarpeni means declining era. When declining era means the time where the people live during that time period. In the beginning, it is a happiness, and slowly, as time passes, it becomes miserable. So from Avsarpini means from happiness going to the miserable. While Utsarpini means rising era, the other first one is the declining era, that is from miserable to happiness. So you can see in Hindu philosophy, if you are familiar of it, Kali Yuga is a declining, okay? And Satyug, from Kali Yuga going to the Satyug, it is a rising. Similarly, us, we are currently on the 5th era, and we will see it, where do we stand and what is happening and how many years left for that kind of the cycle to go through. The time is a continuous cycle of declining and rising era. Declining era is called Avsarpini time cycle, where human virtues, natural conditions decline over the time. Rising era, Utsarpini, where the human virtues, natural conditions improve over the time. Okay. Of course, our lifespan is such that we don't see a drastic change. But once you pass years after years after years after years, then you can see the human virtues and the natural condition both in the rising era improve over the time. All right, now let's look at it, few more charts. This is the graphical representation. On the right side, this half, okay, it's a declining era. Okay, in the beginning it was a sukham, means sukh, happiness, type things. Okay, and then sukham, so their happiness is little reduced, but still all happy. Then sukham dukham means there is some sukh, there is some dukh, more sukh and less dukh. Then dukham sukham, which is the fourth ara, where you got more dukh, more pain, whatever you call it, and less sukh. We are where the star is, we are in this ara, which is a dukham. Just imagine that is the name given. It is less than the previous time we had it. Okay, and it is still continuously declining. Bhagavan Mahavir and all Tirthankars, they born in the third ara or fourth ara. All 24 Tirthankars born in the third and the fourth ara, which is Sukham Dukham or Dukham Sukham Kaal. Okay. The first two ara, no Tirthankar is born. Sukham, when there is everything is happiness and all your desire is fulfilled by Kalpavruksha. Okay, people don't think of the spirituality. And that is why there is no struggle. What I mean by that. And if there is no struggle, there is no Tirthankars are born also. Only when there is a struggle begins, that and then the religion and spirituality and everything comes into the existence. All right. So on the third ara, initially Sukh, then Sukham Dikham add. So one Tirthankar is born into the third ara, into the tail part of the third ara, end of the third ara. And the 23 Tirthankars are born in the fourth ara. 23 means from Ajit Nath all the way to Mahavir Swami. And after Mahavir Swami's Nirvana, within 89 weeks, the fourth ara gets completed. And the fifth ara begins. So you can imagine somewhere after few months, you can call it, okay, 89 weeks, the maybe couple of years, the fourth ara is completed. So we can say we are in the 2500 years of the approximately of the fifth ara. And the life of the fifth ara is 21,000 years. So let me show you the whole thing and we will go and just complete the things. All right. So this is the Kaal Chakra. This is a declining time cycle. And the other one is the ascending Utsarpini, okay, Kaal Chakra, where this is still unhappiness or dukh. Then it is reducing the dukh, increasing the happiness. And again, in the third and the fourth ara, Tirthankars are born 24. And then Sukham and Sukham, where there is no Tirthankars are born. So if you notice it here from this point all the way up to here, there is no Tirthankars are born, okay, from this side. While others, Tirthankars are born, and the spiritual, and we call it moksha dwar. The door of the moksha is open during that time period, and people can attain the liberation, because religion is, spirituality is there, religion is established. Okay, we know how to attain the liberations and what to accomplish it. Everything that occurs in our kshetra, in our Bharat kshetra, we are talking here. Different kshetra is a different rules and regulation. And that one you have to study it. We don't have the time here to go through all this one. Okay, this is another diagram which is in Hindi, and you will see most of the things what I have explained you here, they have explained it in Hindi. Okay, and these are the kind of a six-part name. First, in the Ausarpani time cycle, the first ara is happy, happy. This is the name. I mean, there is no other way you can define. And it is 4 times e to the power 14 sagropams. Now you can see the sagropam time cycle and see how long and that era lasts. But ultimately, no matter how big it is going to end. One day it is going to end. Okay. Same thing, the happy era is the 3 crore. E to the power 14 means there are 14 zeros. Crore. 1 crore is 70. Crore is 7 times 7, which is 14. 3 crore is agropam. Third ara is 2 crore is agropam. And the fourth ara is 1 crore is agropam less 22,000 years. 42,000 years. Fifth ara is 21,000 years, and we are already past out of 21,000 years, 2,500 years are already passed, because that's how the Mahavir Swamis attained the Nirvana. After Nirvana, approximately 2,500 years passed. Sixth ara is another 21,000 years. So total is 42,000 years, unhappy. And actually, at the sixth ara, the human Ayushya span, the life expectancy will be about 20 years. Okay, so you can imagine how it is declining. Today we got 80 years or 100 years kind of a lifespan. But once we go into the sixth ara, which is after 21,000, maybe 19,000 years, all right, we will have like lifespan is 20 years, or 21 or something like that, they say. Okay. Anyway, and this is the rising things. So what I would like to conclude the time cycle things also in here. If you have any question on that, or any whatever the questions you have on the Jain universe. Tejal, go ahead.